Well, good morning, and welcome to another episode of Frustrated to Fun. This is week 3, and man, it's been a week. I can't even go over what the week has been like. It's been frustrating, and we're going to have some fun. To start off, let's talk about, why we're here. We are here to be able to share some things that we're learning, things that we have learned about scams that have been happening to the elderly. And that being said, how we can deter some of that from happening to the people we love. More specifically, our elders. We've talked about a few things. We talked about scams regarding, sorry, I'm going cheap for a little while. We talked about home improvement fraud. We've talked about debt relief fraud. We've talked about funeral fraud. We've talked about reverse mortgage scams. Today, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to talk about investment fraud. Hey, if you invest in this company, you'll be able to multiply your savings. We're going to talk about telemarketing fraud. Hi, this is Dave from InvestAllYourMoney.com. And if you just give us your credit card, we'll suck away all your savings. And then lastly, internet fraud. If you click on this link, you're going to become a millionaire. Yeah, but no, we're probably going to take all your money. So that's what's been happening in the world today. So let's get to it. What is Frustrated Fun? Where we talk about scams, schemes, and frauds that are impacting our seniors and how we can avoid them. What are some of them? Well, we've talked about a couple of times now that elder fraud has been over a $2.9 billion deficit to our seniors, to our elders, to the people who've raised us and who are continually mentoring us. So do we really want, I don't even ask the question, do we really want this to happen to them? Answer, of course, is no. Like I said before, there's a list. There's at least 10 things, and there's so many more that we're going to cover in the months to come. But in just these 10 things, we've got the home improvement fraud. We've got the debt relief fraud. We've got the funeral fraud, which we've talked about. We've got the reverse mortgage fraud, the investment scams, which we'll talk about today, the telemarketing fraud, which we'll talk about today, the internet fraud, which we'll also talk about today. Anything coming up in the next coming weeks, lottery and sweepstakes fraud. Everybody wants to hit it big. The phony government scams. People have tried to call me with that one. And then lastly, the one I hate the most, the grandparent scam. So investment schemes. These are the ones that say, hey, oil embargoes. Of course, we're hearing a lot about oil right now, right? So, of course, because it's in the news and because gas prices are, really fluctuating, that's a big one. So someone will reach out to you and say, hey, I've got this land. I've got these oil refineries. You want to invest in them? Well, first of all, if they don't have a sticker price, what I mean is a stock ticker symbol, run for it. You don't even want to deal with that. Also, something to really question when you get reached out to by these people. Well, first of all, are they legit? I'm saying this every week. Go to the Better Business Bureau. If you don't see them on there, if you can't find them listed anywhere on the internet besides their websites and discussion groups on the website, 9 times out of 10, they're fraud. Is their company registered to sell securities? You can find that out. You can get a report from the SEC. Now, if you've already invested money, is it too late to withdraw? What they mean is, oh, you got to do it right now. Mm-mm. There's no reason I need to give you my money right now. I mean, let's be honest. Did you rush when you bought your house? Did you rush when you bought your car? Heck, do you rush when you buy groceries? Answer is probably no. 85% of the time. Some of us can be impulsive shoppers at times, but you don't want to do that with it. You know, my wife and I have an agreement. Anything over $40, we check with the other person. Um, Not like you can't spend more than $40, but it's more like, hey, I was thinking about doing this. What do you think? Nothing, no harm in checking. Now that's $40. You start talking $400 or $4,000 or more, yeah, you might want to talk to somebody. And there's no shame in finding you a financial advisor, someone like I don't know, Christina Buell from Edward Jones. She's under my friends list, or Kevin Hill from Edward Jones. Those are actual friends of mine that I actually personally know that have handled my investments before. Me personally, I go through now Robinhood or uh, Ameritrade. If I can't find them on there, I'm not dealing with it. Now, let me just step back and be more honest. There are some cryptocurrency that I deal with, but I go through a reputable cryptocurrency firm. Um, I can share that later on. But if it's something that you haven't heard on or you can't find on a reputable investment site, run, run. Um, so you need to ask them, if I invest with you, where my money going? Um, so like I said, if it's investments, you want to make sure that they're registered with the SEC. Also, again, the Better Business Bureau, FTC, AG, all of these places, you want to make sure that they are legit. And there's nothing wrong with you requesting and demanding some type of uh, proof, proof of what they're saying. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see. Nope, nope. Yep. Um, things things that you might want to be careful of. Anyone that tells you you can get $100,000 in a year, I've heard a lot of that from these forex brokers. Or you can multiply your money in 6 months. Yeah, you could, but you want to be wary of them. I have quite a few videos of people who've shared their experience with forex. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not, I'm never going to get on here and say specifically this is a bad thing. What I will say is get it checked out. Make sure you've checked your sources with it. Um, like because I have a lot of friends in different areas, people like, hey Mac, what are your friends saying about this? Well, they tell me what I'm going to tell you. Pay attention. You pay attention to the news. You do searches on investment websites regarding things you're interested in. But if you're going to call me and you're going to go, hey, Mac, should I invest in blah, blah, blah? I'm going to tell you, I don't know. Because I am not a professional stockbroker. I do it for me and my household. Heck, there's some things that I invest in, my wife won't invest in. She's like, I need to watch a little longer. So you can't really trust an individual who's not a proven professional for investments. That's all I'm going to say about that. So I have friends who we do talk and share like, hey, have you noticed this? Yeah, I just bought some. Oh, okay, cool. And we'll bounce it back. But we know, and here's the thing, if you're going to invest, make sure you have money that you don't mind missing. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Can you afford? It's like if you're going to loan somebody some money. This is a how do I say this? A I guess you call it a model that I live by. If I cannot afford to not see that money back, I'm not loaning you. I'm not going to loan it to you. If I, and what you're doing when you're investing, you're loaning your money. You're loaning your money into this investment firm to say, hey, I believe in what you're doing. So I'm expecting this money back plus some. Well, if you can't afford for that money to be gone, don't use it. Do not use it. If you don't have $1,000 that you can say, hey, if there's $1,000, if I don't see this anymore, it's like you went to the slot machine. Money gone. It's possible. Hey, how many times, heck, in my lifetime, heck, in the past 10, 20 years, have we had a stock market crash? If you can't afford to not be completely depressed if that money goes away, don't you do it. Only use money that you know you can be okay with blowing. Well, what do I mean by that? If you can walk up to a stranger and give it away, that's the kind of money you want to invest. If it's money that you don't mind going on a Saturday afternoon and blowing $100, $200, that's the kind of money you want to invest. Not a whole paycheck. Well, if I invest one whole paycheck, it may dividend me, to last me the rest of the year. But can you afford to deal without that paycheck yet? Do you have that much paycheck in your savings? What somebody once told me is, you only invest what you can afford to lose. So if you can't afford to lose $1,000, don't you invest $1,000. If you can't afford to lose $100, don't invest $100. So if these people are coming to you saying, hey, Mark, I need $100 from you right now. Well, it's an opportunity I'm going to have to pass. But you don't want to miss this. Why don't you go borrow from your grandmother? What the heck? Anything that's that pressure to do, you can afford to pass on. That's all I'm going to say about that. Here's this one. If this investment opportunity is only in letter form or it's only in an infomercial, run, Forrest, run. It's not for you. You want something that's proven. Like you want, there's one stock guy I follow, and he was on a Facebook Live, and he said, these are the ones you want to watch out for. And he listed some pretty good ones. But I went back and investigated. I tossed them off to a few friends of mine that we all kind of like, pull back and forth looking at stocks. And we said, this one might be something. So we looked into it. No, I'm not going to say the name. If you follow me on any of these social medias, I've already put them out there. I've already shared them. But this is not the venue for me sharing it. This is the venue for me saying, be careful of those who are trying to rush you into a purchase. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is the one. Mark, you're sure to get this amount of money. It's foolishness. It is foolishness. No one can guarantee you how much money you're going to make in stocks. Nobody. If they say they do, they're on foolishness and shenanigans. That's the best way I can put it. You want someone who's going to coach you through. Like I mentioned, Christina Buell, Kevin Hill. Why am I mentioning their names? Because I know they're with reputable firm. They're with Edward Jones. I have listened to them. I have proven track record with them. I know K Buell, K Hill, they both got K's in them. I know them, and I know, well, first, they're both faith-based. So they're godly based, they're Christian. And not all Christians are legit. Let me just say that. But these two people, I know them personally. I've vetted them. Heck, I've had sizable money with Edward Jones, and my money was safe and secure. Do I necessarily go through them right now? No. But that's just my choice for right now. Right now, I'm doing something a little different. But that's my choice for right now. I can afford to do that right now. When I needed them, I needed them. And I needed their coaching. I'm actually about to go back and get some more financial training from the two people I just mentioned to you. And the one thing that I did take away from their trainings is this. Make sure, first and foremost, you have savings. Well, how much savings should you have? Enough so that if something happens unforeseeable, God forbid, you can sustain yourself for at least 3 to 6 months, whatever that number is for you. My wife and I, we have an agreement that we have a savings set up. There are certain things we're just not buying right now. And there are certain things I'm not investing in right now. Again, unless it's 10%, that's my number, not your number. It could be your number. That's if you decide that. My number says 10% of each form of income that I get, I'm normally going to blow it away anyway. Either going out to eat, going out stupid shopping. I can afford to invest that. So I'd rather, instead of wasting it on food or wasting it on going out to do some crazy kind of shopping, see, my kind of shopping is I'm investing into my company and it's all equipment and stuff like that. I know I'm rambling, sorry. But I was talking about the sure thing. There is no such thing. Only sure thing is live, die, pay taxes. You are surely going to have to do one of those three things. Things to avoid. I went to a few years ago with a friend of mine a seminar pitch in Florida, and it was about real estate. Now, this person that I went with is like the real estate guru for the state of Florida. You know what I'm talking about. And I highly value their opinion, but it was interesting to me. They were willing to go and hear what other people saying. And, you know, turned out to be one of those, hey, if you get into this program, you can do this, 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 and this to get real estate. Now, let me dial back a bit, and I'm going to kind of like share my house purchase experience, because your home is your investment as well. So I went to go buy a house before I bought this house. I went looking at houses, and I got tired of looking at houses. And my real estate broker, I'm trying to think of their name right now. I know it's Lorene and Dave Morris. Lorene and Dave Morris. Sorry, I'm getting older. Memory just kind of gets foggy sometimes. Sorry, Lorene. Love y'all. I'm going to be calling you soon. And Dave was taking me several places to go look at houses. We got to this one place, and they were like, hey, Mark, I need you to take you through these 6 chapters before I can show you any houses. Well, number one, I'd already been approved by the VA, and I already got my loan. Had my piece of paper saying they guaranteed me X amount of thousands of dollars for a house. So I don't need your program. So I basically was like getting frustrated, like, I'm ready to leave. And Dave came in and I was like, can you transfer this statement from Mark speak to regular speak? Because I'm saying I don't need your program. If anyone's trying to force information on you, walk away. You don't have to take the information. If you don't feel comfortable, if you don't feel at peace about it, you have inside of you an innate gut knowledge. If your gut doesn't have peace, it probably is not for you. Not to say it's fraudulent or a scam. It may just not be with you. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Judy Ann. Depending on the strategy, if it's long-term and a credible stock, it typically bounces back. Of course, for seniors, they're telling me, yes, I agree. So Judy Ann Chung says, depending on, in fact, let me just put this out on there. Just can I put you on there? Show this. Judy Ann Chung says, depending on the strategy of its long-term and credible stock, it typically bounces back. And of course, their timeline is much different. In short, because they should be investing in stable funds. Agreed. Thoroughly agree with you, Judy Ann. Thoroughly agree. And no problem, Charlie. There's no such thing as late because there's always a replay. Love you. If you want to add a comment, you can do so just by letting StreamYard know you want to add a comment and just click on. So what was I going at? Always, 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 you want it in writing. Whatever you're putting your money in. Let's just be real basic. When you go to the store or the gas station, you get something in writing says you get these gallons of gas for this X amount of money. Why wouldn't you get it for something larger? I'm going to just try to get off that dead horse. All right, shifting over to the telemarketing fraud. This one has been frustrating the heck out of me because I don't know how I got on some of them because, and I'm probably going to redo this broadcast next week. We're going to go back over this and I'm going to be able to show some stuff, some tips. On your phones, you can get an app to do away with a bunch of, I like to call them bots calling you. Let's see, spam. If you look up spam call blocker on your phone, there's one called Robot Killer. Now, with Robot Killer, it's free for a minute, but then they're going to ask you for money. Well, most everything nowadays is going to ask you for money later on. But there is a trial-free version you can get of Robot Killer. Let me put this in the chat. Robot Killer. So there you go. Robot Killer. That is a blocker you can get on your phone. This is cell phone now. To prevent you from getting spam calls. Well, what's a spam call? Spam call is, and you'll know it when they're calling you, because 9 times out of 10, somebody calling you, when you pick up the phone, you can say, hello, hey, Mark, how you doing, blah, 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 blah. But if you say hello and you hear that pause, and then all of a sudden you hear a bunch of people in the background, it's a telemarketer call. And you have the right to say, please block me from your number. Who is this? Hey, this is Chuck from da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and we're calling for what's the most popular one right now? The warranty on your car. Well, when I first bought my car, I was getting those calls, and I bought the extended warranty. So I knew it wasn't legit. There was one, and I think I mentioned this in the first episode. Dude shook me because he said he was calling about an old debt. Let's see what Charlie's saying. I'm getting spam text messages. Yes. I'm going to do a special episode about how to block those spam text messages. Yes, I'm going to do a special episode. Maybe I'll make that next week as a follow-up to this one. But yeah, if you don't know them, I've been getting those too, Charlie, and I'm working on how to permanently get rid of them. If you have like Google Voice attached or anything like that, you possibly can be getting them. I'm going to look into why and how to remove that. That may be a special segment for next week. I'm not going to tell you I have all the answers this week. I'm just covering some of the things that are happening and for you to be aware of them and some things how to stop them. Next week I'll become more technical about it. Because we only we're way in. We may have to go a little longer today. Here's just my take on telemarketer. I will tell a telemarketer in a heartbeat. And there's some videos of online on social media of telemarketers accidentally calling police officers. Charlie says she just started about 3 weeks ago and she does not use Google Call. So then, maybe you should give me a call and we can troubleshoot this. And if you don't mind, maybe we can troubleshoot it together and then have you come back on and talk about how we fixed it. But I'm going to probably say 3 weeks ago, you may have signed up for something and may not have noticed and they got you. So we can talk about that. You can call me offline. Actually, which one? Good. If any of you want help with troubleshooting into this, our number is 321-800-4443. That's for Tech Teach. Leave a message and we'll see about helping you all out. So, back on track. So, any of these high pressure ones that go, you got to buy it today. If you don't do it today, you're gonna miss out. That's not for you. Well, that's not for me. Oh, the one that shook me. They quoted to me my social security number because I have some old debt out there that I pretty much thought was taken care of. Realized it was like an old cell phone bill from like over 10 years ago that when I bought the house, they said, oh, that was already written off. You're good. Somebody got a hold of it. And with that, I guess someone sold it third party and got my social. It shook me for a moment. And I just was like, so what? You have my social. Okay. Send me something in the mail. Well, we did, Mr. Chambers. And he got real indignant. And that's when I was like, well, good day to you. I'll go back to my mail and find it. Click. Never feel pressured to respond to anything. They're invading your home. They're invading your space. And I'm using the word specifically, invading. They called you. You didn't invite them to call. You didn't say, hey, Chuck, call me today at 3:00 just so I can answer your phone calls and be intimidated by you. You didn't do that. So you don't have to respond to that. So ways that they reach out to you. We talked about the cold calls. Another way is you get some direct mail. I have been getting mail every week, unless, if not 2-3 times a week. Hey, you ready to sell your house? I never said I was wanting to sell my house. Hey, your house is worth blah, blah, blah right now because somebody just sold down the street and you can get blah, blah, blah for your house. That's nice. I'll talk it over with my wife and I'll let you know. But you're not going to press me to sell my house. What else? Here's a free magazine in the mail. Let's see. Here we go. Charlie says she deals with fraud. So the spam call, she went back and forth with a guy. You threatened to call the sheriff. Very good. He said they cannot. He said call. They cannot go. They're not going to do anything. I asked him to hold on. So I put him on the conference. Very good. Very good. That's how you handle it. Put them on a hold. Say, you know what? Hold on 1 second. Let me go get something. This is a perfect thing with what Charlie did. I'm sorry, Charlene. I call her Charlie because we go back. Dang, we go way back, at least 12, 15 years. Working over in Naperville. She said, look, hold on. You think they're not going to do nothing? Make a 3-way to them. Awesome. That is great job. Great job. Great idea. Let's see what else. Examples. Hey, Mark, we've got this free gift for you. Don't you want something free? First and foremost, ain't nothing free nowadays. Nothing is free. Like, okay, so I won this free microphone on a challenge I was on. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Robert. I mean, I know it wasn't really free. It took my time. It took my commitment. It took me sharing what I was being involved with. So was it really free? Maybe. But not so much because it cost me my time. So nothing in this world is free anymore. Well, Mark, I get free this, I get free that. But is it really free? Do you have to give up your information? Do you have to give up your time? In that case, it's not free. Your time is worth money. Your information is worth a lot of money. So if you gave up any one of those, everything they're telling you is free is a lie. But the PP, I may not want to go down this road. But this plan over here through the government is free, and I don't have to pay it back. Really? The IRS disagrees with you. Anyway, that's for another time. Anytime someone's going to say, hey, if you donate to this charity or group, again, can you afford to give your money away? And this is the part that used to frustrate me. Sorry, Charlie. Charlie says, no, don't go down that road. No, I'm not going down that road. If you cannot afford to lose that money and not have any emotional ties to that money, don't do it. Here's what I mean by that. I was giving money to a charity group, and I thought the charity money I was giving was going to help this group of people. Come to find out, only a very small portion of that money went to go help that group of people. And I got a little frustrated by that, but that's my fault. I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't do my homework to find out where does every dollar that comes into that organization go to. That's what you need to do. So anyway, that's another form of telemarketer fraud. I said this earlier. Make sure you get, if you don't want to get all them phone calls, you have the right to say, please, my number on the do not call list. Now, there's one group of people who kept calling me. I literally had to tell them at least 5 to 8 times before I didn't hear from them anymore. And then what I got frustrated with and said, I need the name of your company, the CEO of your company. Well, why do you need that? Like, because you all are not following my wishes and you're invading my home. They got the message then. I got the numbers and everything. I didn't even have to go that far. They were like, oh, this dude is serious. He might get us in trouble. Let's leave him alone. I used to work for some telemarketing groups, and one in particular in Oak Park, Illinois. And we would get a sheet that says, do not call this. And sure shooting, I'd be like, oh, so we don't control anymore. Well, after like 90 days, we can put it back in the recycling code. What? But we told these people we can't call anymore. You want to keep your low hourly job? Shut the heck up. It happens. Before we get ready to move to the next part, services rendered, whether it's stocks, whether it's charity, you don't pay for nothing in advance. You get your groceries. After you get your groceries, you pay. Only thing you have to prepay for is gas. They have to authorize a card or something. You don't get what you want, you immediately can call your bank. FDIC covers it and say, hey, I didn't get the service. I didn't get the product. Take that off my card. They will give you your money back if you didn't get what you wanted. Why am I saying this? There's nothing where you have to prepay for something. I didn't have to prepay for this house. I didn't have to prepay for a car. Only thing that I have to prepay for is stuff that's being shipped to my home. I pay for it, and they tell me exactly when it's due or due by to get, not due by the country, but when it's due to get here. Make sense? Internet fraud. All right, let's go on to internet fraud. This one is interesting. And this was probably the biggest reason why I started this. And we're probably going to have a part 2 to telemarketing fraud and internet fraud next week and texting fraud. We'll do a part 2 next week. You can click on a link, and there are hackers out there who, because you used your phone that has associated with it your banking information or your Apple Pay or your Google Pay, Android Pay, whatever one is your genre, they can get your information to your bank. And yes, I'm going somber on this because I know individuals this happened to the tune of 30 plus thousands of dollars. I've had coworkers come to me frustrated. They're like, Mark, is there something that can be done? Yes. Go to your bank or go to your loved one's financial institution. Tell them what happened. They will do an investigation. Can't guarantee you're going to get all the money back, but they'll do something to perform justice for you. A lot of people ask me, well, Mark, why is this happening? Because there's evil people out there, and they prey on people. P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y. During COVID, I saw it a lot. Heck, there's something I saw less than a mile away where, and yes, this is totally off topic, but this is just showing you there's predators out there. I saw live footage of vans pulling up trying to throw women in there from Walmart parking lot. So yes, we're going to go talk about that at another time, probably in another venue. But yes, we're going to talk about that. And why did I bring that up? Because just to say, hey, there's some not so nice people out there who don't have your best interest at heart, who I don't know how to categorize them. Just to say that it is their gain to make you have a loss, or your loved ones have a loss. So that being said, there's such a thing as called spam emails. Every email server, whether it's Google, whether it's AOL, whether it's iCloud, blah, 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 I can go down the list. Even the ones that you create for your own website have the ability to turn on spam blockers. I personally turn off pop-up blockers for certain things that I do, and I turn it right back on. Also, what are ways to protect yourself? AVG has free internet software to protect yourself. There is Avast has free ones. Those are the free ones I have vetted. People ask me all the time, well, what about McAfee? What about Norton? In my profession, I have not had some good experiences. Is that to say I'm bad mouthing them, telling you they're no good? No, I'm not saying that at all. Evidently, they are a profitable company, and they do something, for their clients. And Charlene says she's used Avast for years. Yep. Did you use the free version, or did you have to pay for it? Please comment that for me, Charlene. There are advantages to paying, because it does other things for you that you may not know how to keep up with. I have people ask me all the time. They get a pop-up on some type of internet and says, hey, Mark, should I do this? I don't know all of it. And I know the things I've experienced. The best thing I can do is if you call the number that I showed you and tell you, hey, I'll test it out for you. That's the best thing I can do, because I have machines set up to test. But do I have a wellspring of knowledge? I have 20 years experience, 30 years experience teaching technology. My lane. I've taught my lane. I have fixed and repaired laptops and Windows and Apple, but that's my lane. Anything else, we got to test it out for you. So that being said, well, Mark, if you're not versed on all this, why are you teaching this? Because I just want you to know the information is out there that you can protect yourself. Charlene said she's used the free version, but got the paid one for her daughter. Right. Because probably you were concerned that your daughter might not be as advanced as you. I know Charlene personally, I know she technically sound. So probably she paid for the one for her daughter to make sure her daughter's covered. Messages in your email box can look credible, but 9 times out of 10 are not. I've been getting a lot of emails lately. Hey, Mark, let's give y'all some of them, because I get them all the time. What's a good example? Hey, Mark, are you ready to go live? My live's not till tomorrow. Why are you asking me that? Hey, Mark, I got your Apple iPhone 12 confirmation. Congratulations, you're the lucky winner. Foolishness. One, I didn't sign up for this. That's nothing I signed up for. So what do? I go inside of the email, take a look at it, and I see, who are they really emailing? They got my Tech Teach Inc. email address. But if you look at the 2 and carbon copy, it doesn't fully say your email address. It says something of it. Like it says, my email address is techteachinc@gmail.com. This says techteachinc@. What the freak is that? Another example, senior perks, mark at AOL.com. I've never had a mark at anything. But because I was Googling and looking up for stuff for senior citizens, because as of September 30th, I am now classified as a senior person. What else? Some other examples of them. And they just come. Nope, I signed up for that. Nope, I signed up for that. Uh-oh, here we go. Limited time only. Market AOL. Your reward is waiting. I'm not clicking on this link. Why? Because I know I don't have an email, but I just buy that. So how do you protect yourself? Do some investigation. If you don't know nothing about, like, I got one on here, Keto Tone, 50 pounds, lose 50 pounds in 61 days. Number one, my doctors would not be happy if I tried to lose 50 pounds in 61 days because that's not good for you. Secondly, I know that's a bogus email address. Because again, it's that market AOL, not a legit address. So some things you just want to get edit on your email list and just start deleting. You don't even want to fool with it. For what? Because you're curious? Okay. There's an old adage, curiosity killed the cat. Do you want to be that cat or kitten? I don't know. I don't have enough money to keep replacing equipment. And this, I stopped buying new phones about 5-6 years ago. This is a iPhone 8 Plus. Am I dogging anybody else's phone up? Nope. I just don't want to pay the money. That's just me. Why'd I get on that? I don't know. Oh, because sometimes when you click on some of those things using your phone, it can jack up your phone. Yes, jack is a technical term. Mess up your phone. And now you got to either replace your phone, figure out how you can get your information back off your phone, all that stuff. And potentially your data on your phone could have been corrupted even if you back it up. So why even be bothered with that frustration? All right. Oh, examples of internet fraud. The free credit report. Unless, and I'm going to go here. Unless it is the three top ones, what is it? Equifax, TransUnion, and one more. I always forget the third one. Somebody put it in the comments. Or your financial institution. Every financial institution I have pretty much offers free credit reports, and I go through them. Anything else outside of my financial institution or the three main ones, I don't fool with. Why? Because it's probably some craziness. Experian, thank you, Charlene. Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Unless it's from them, and they give you free ones. There is a place called freecreditreport.com. Them I deal with. Anything else? Nope. I just talked about the dramatic weight loss. Phishing. So here we go. Phishing is a con artist way to get your personal information, whether it's by a click, whether it's by a conversation, whether it's by physical communication. They're phishing to get your information. I used to work at a health organization here in the Orlando, Florida area. And phishing, oh my gosh. Phishing made our whole organization go down for an afternoon. Some person, non-IT related, clicked on something, and their person in the high levels, they clicked on something they shouldn't have using a work device, and we had to shut stuff down. That's a organization. What do you think is going to happen to you? Don't click on stuff unless you know who it's from. That's here. Let me spell it out. Do not click on nothing you do not know. Do not click on nothing you don't know. Yes. And I said use improper grammar and all caps to screaming at you. Stop clicking on stuff that you don't know anything about. So, oh, internet auction fraud. So everybody wants to get something on the low. Ooh, there's this internet auction where I can get something for the low price. There's a new one out. Well, not so new to everybody else, but it was new to me, and I was like, how can I say this? What's that old adage? If it's too good to be true, it probably is not true. So there's nothing you're gonna get on this earth. Pardon me. It's gonna be darn near free. Sure, you might find a great deal on Woot. Woot I started using. You might find a good deal on eBay, but if you're out here trying to find a deal to take advantage of somebody else, you might get taken advantage of. That's the best way I can put that. Oh, this person's selling this for this much, and it's only $10. Well, you know doggone well it's worth $1,000. So run. I was looking for a car some time ago, and I wanted a certain car, and I was looking on different places, and they were like $1. Well, I know, for one, who wants a car for $1? That joker probably gonna have a busted engine, and they're just trying to get it off their lot, so you can deal with that problem. Anyway, this first line I don't know if I agree with. It says avoid filling out forms and emails on websites that ask for personal information. I mostly agree with that, but there are some websites I go to that I need something from them, and the only way I'm gonna get it is I give them my information. So what do? Gmail and Google and all the other places allow you to create anonymous email addresses. You know, through Google, some of y'all might know this. There's Google Voice. You can get a free number from Google. So give them that number. Give them that other email address. Don't give them your personal one. Don't give them the phone number that you use on a regular basis. Yeah, I might get a little passionate about this because I know people who've had their phone number for a long time and had to change that number. Why go to that frustration? They calling you from a fake number. They're hitting you up from a fake email address. Well, Mark, am I being an imposter? No. You're being a shrewd individual with your personal information. Protect yourself. I'm going to get that ringtone. Protect yourself. Na, 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 na. Voice, a little hoarse. Only open attachments from senders that you know. This one. People send information to you and you're not expecting an attachment. Don't you open that. 9 times out of 10, it is a bot, an automated thing to collect information from you, or it's a virus, or it's a Trojan horse. What's a Trojan horse, Mark? I look like I'm friendly, but I'm here to knock you out. Trojan horse. Don't always open your pop-ups unless you're trying to get somewhere and your pop-up blocker says it's being blocked from you opening it. That's the only way I turn off my pop-up blocker. If I'm trying to get somewhere that I know, like for instance, I was helping somebody the other day at a government site and I couldn't get to this certain page because the pocket blocker was blocking it. So there's a way not to turn off your pop-up blocker, but allow that particular address to go through. Maybe I'll do a class on that. If y'all email me or comment and you want some more technical advice, more specific, hit me up. We'll do a show on that. I can't specify or harp on enough. You get an email with a link in it from somebody, run, Forrest, run. Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm probably going to be guilty of one or two of these. Don't respond to unsolicited emails. Sometimes I do it just to be a jerk. But I can do that because I'm going to respond from another email address that's not linked to me. Make certain you have a firewall and up-to-date antivirus software. Some of y'all might not know what a firewall is. We'll do a special show on that. Make sure you do have an antivirus. You have free ones available to you. Let's see, and I'll let's see what's some free ones. Avast, AVG. Oh, and what's my other one? Malware. Some of y'all are like, what the heck is malware? So malicious software, malware, that's made to attack your devices. Yep. Malwarebytes is what it's called. Malwarebytes. So you got 3 different ones you can choose from that are free: AVG, Avast, and Malwarebytes. So don't use the same password for all your accounts. So some people say, well, it's hard to keep up with all my passwords. So it's easy for them to get your password if you don't make different ones. Don't do banking or access your accounts on somebody's free line, free Wi-Fi. Don't do that. Here's what's happening. So let's say you're waiting at the airport to get on your plane. Let's see, can I hide this for a moment? And can I edit this? And you're waiting to get your plane and you need to check your bank stuff. Don't be on their Wi-Fi while you're doing that. Because there's somebody 2 rows down from you who's just sitting there at the airport sniffing out. You tell your customers all the time, don't get on free Wi-Fi to do business. Yes. This is what Charlene is saying. She tells her customers all the time, do not do personal business on free Wi-Fi, because 9 times out of 10, there's someone there with a laptop who's doing nothing but sniffing out who's getting on, because you can do it. If you're on the same network, this is what people don't know and pay attention to. If I'm on the same Wi-Fi network as you, there's something I can use to go see who gets connected. And as I do, if you did not know to turn off to allow people to connect to you, your information is free for the taking. And so is your device. So things to watch out for. Nope, not really to talk about that yet. So that's some things that are at risk. Are your bills unpaid? I got an opportunity for you. Who bills are paid all the time, ahead of time? There's sometimes I can make it there, sometimes not. Be careful with who you give your money to. Now, I can't tell you don't take $20 or $50 out your wallet and hand to somebody. You know, generosity goes a long way, paying it forward. But for you to take your financial information and give it to somebody to make a payment, I don't know if I do that. I used to think PayPal was a safe way to do that until I got hit, and PayPal did not refund my money. They used the disclosure, you didn't contact her within X amount of days. I didn't know. I'll give you that example. It was Christmas time a few years ago, and do not buy anything through Facebook ads. I was gullible. I was vulnerable, and if it's sounds too good to be true, it is. I wanted something for somebody because I felt like they need it, and I figured, I could use that too. So I bought 2 of them. I was out, probably about $200, and I was ticked off about that because I couldn't get my money back. I was like, "Well, did you get this yet? Because I didn't get mine yet." Nope, I didn't know you sent that to me or bought that from me. So, anyway, watch out for that. We are almost out of time. What I normally always say is if you get involved with any of these things, always call the police. Yes, there are local police, non-emergent, like you don't call 911 for fraud. You call them and ask them to be transferred to non-emergency. You can call it, you can reach out to the FTC. You can Google them. You can reach out to say, let me just say this. If you reach out online looking for Social Security information, do not give your information. They already know your information. You don't have to give it again, because when you do that, people get your information, start reaching out to you. We started 5 minutes late, so I'll go another 5 minutes. I talked to you about the 3 major bureaus you want to talk to: Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. These are the numbers for FTC. Let's see. I'll switch to this view. You can put yourself on a national do not call registry. If you can't see this number here, oops, I will put it in the chat for you all to check out later on the replay. Identity theft. Oh my gosh. I had identity theft. I had bad about 15 years ago. It was so bad that I was this cat that I knew grew up with in church. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Charlene says she's bought a couple of things through Facebook ads. She received the items, but used her Cash App card instead. Very smart. I'm going to have to start using that. Thank you. Identity theft. I had it happen to me, and there's a lot of things I had to go through. And plus now, if you look down under my name is always Mark A. Chambers. I no longer go by Mark Chambers legally. In fact, on my driver's license, it says my full name. Why? Because someone used my name, a version of information about me, and my deceased mother's address, and I became their alias. I was ticked off. I was like, I showed up to long story short, they got my information. It was more than a headache for me. I even got arrested once because there was a warrant out for their arrest, but they looked for me because I was their alias. Yeah, so maybe we'll do a show about identity theft as well. All right, I am about out of time. Any questions? If y'all got specific questions, put them in the chat. If not, you can always email me at techpeachgeek@gmail.com. You'll get me directly. It actually comes to my phone. And if you want to set up some time where we can talk and go over situations, you can also call me at this number, 321-800-4443. Hope you have an amazing Saturday and a wonderful weekend and an awesome week. Dang, May is almost gone. May 22nd already. This has been Frustrated Fun. If anyone wants to join in on what I always promise, the online jukebox bingo, email me here and I will send you an online card and we will play. I can't play it on here because of its actual music, real music. So because of licensing and stuff, I can't do that. So if you want to join in, email me there. Till then, have a wonderful evening. Oh, great day.